You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I am back. Rodrance for Black and White Sports 2. If you're new to the channel, punch the subscribe, like, comment. Subscribe to Black and White Network on podcast. All the audio from all of our videos is available over there, anywhere you get your podcast from. So I got two big pieces of news involving the Chicago Bears, and the first one is something that continues to percolate out there, something that we've been covering on Black and White Sports for well over a year, and that is the Bears looking to possibly move out of Soldier Field. Now, there were all kinds of stories coming out about the Bears wanting out. Well, when Lori Lightfoot was in office and, well, crime was overrun the city, and, well, you got Brandon Johnson, and the crime is even worse than it was then. Quit electing these guys. And so, anyway, the Bears bought a piece of property, spent $200 million in Arlington Park. They may decide to completely walk away with that. Somebody pointed out, well, the Bears aren't going to lose money, because I said the Bears are going to walk away from a $200 million property. Somebody said, you won't lose money on that. No, you won't. But the point is, if you wasn't going to move out there, or if you had the wherewithal, part of it was due to property taxes going sky high out there in that area, you got to have the wherewithal to understand property taxes might go sky high before you make the purchase. That's the point. You didn't have to make the purchase to begin with. Eventually, yes, if the Bears choose not to use that land, they will recoup their money. But in the interim, in the immediate, they didn't have to spend the money if they weren't going to move out there. I mean, a little more research. So now we got another city that has jumped into this sweepstakes to try to get the Bears. This is interesting. Now, we know when Lightfoot was in office, she was dangling what I believe was like a $4 billion setup out there for a brand new sort of renovated Soldier Field, etc. It was kind of an enticement to keep the Bears at Soldier Field. And the understanding was the Bears weren't interested in what Lori Lightfoot had to offer. Who would be? Who could blame them? This is Front Office Sports, and we've got another city that has jumped into the sweepstakes. The list of potential home cities for the Chicago Bears continues to grow. By the way, don't worry, we'll get to the Chase Claypool potential disaster in a minute. But perhaps leaves the NFL team no closer to a definitive stadium solution. Suburban Waukegan, Illinois, located near the Wisconsin border and about 45 miles from downtown Chicago, is the latest municipality to publicly convey interest in having a new Bears stadium, joining fellow suburbs Arlington Park and Naperville, along with the city of Chicago. Now, we always got to be aware, it's always possible there's going to be a play off of each other involving these cities that could end up being kind of advantageous for the Bears. I mean, that can be a thing. You know, they can play all these cities off of each other, and, you know, whoever offers the best deal wins. That's not bad business decision-making, if you ask me. And I can't blame them for wanting to have gone to Arlington Park. I hear that area is fantastic. Like the other towns, Waukegan seeks to have a domed stadium, an entertainment district that could host a wide range of events beyond Bears games. The entire project has been pegged at $5 billion at Arlington Park. We believe the Monsters of the Midway deserve the opportunity to continue the tradition of playing along the shores of Lake Michigan, wrote Waukegan Mayor Ann Taylor in a letter to the Bears. The heightened stadium interest from various parts of greater Chicago stems in part from the Bears saying a seemingly inevitable move to Arlington Park is now, quote, at risk amid a tax dispute there. Bears officials said that they have a, quote, responsibility to listen to other municipalities in Chicagoland. The Waukegan entry, however, presents challenges. No NFL stadium would be further from its home downtown. I was going to bring this up because I'm a Niners fan, beating the roughly 40 miles from the 49ers Levi Stadium to downtown San Francisco. Really and truly, my Niners are the Santa Clara Niners, if you want to be just completely real about it. I mean, there are good ways from San Francisco. Who could blame them? San Francisco's a total wreck. And like in Napierville, there are no concrete plans how land parcels could be assembled to match the 326 acres the Bears purchased for $197.2 million at the former Arlington International Racecourse. And look, that Bears, it was going to be a district there, okay? All kinds of different activities, all kinds of restaurants. They were going to, 326 acres is a lot, okay? They've got a massive plan for Arlington Park if they decide to go through with it and they can make the tax situation work. So, this is interesting. Waukegan jumping in. I don't know how viable this is. Also, keep in mind, Gillette Stadium for the Patriots is not in downtown Boston. Okay? It's out and away. All right? So, it's not unheard of, like this says, 40 miles from the 49ers Levi Stadium to downtown San Francisco. This is not out of the realm of possibility. Do I think it's probably going to happen? My gut feeling tells me no, but you never know, and it's certainly worth keeping an eye on. Now, let's get to somebody that, look, a lot of people in the NFL thought was going to be an absolute stud coming out in the NFL draft, and that's Chase Claypool. Now, the Bears traded for him. They gave up a nice piece, and it looks like it could be trending in a very bad direction. Before we even get into it, let's look. 6'4", 238. The guy can fly, okay? Big receiver. Now, in case you're wondering, who comparably speaking has that kind of size, the first guy I thought of was Brandon Marshall, who was a very damn good receiver, a Hall of Very Good guy, borderline Hall of Fame guy, six-time Pro Bowl, one-time All-Pro. But when you start getting that close to 1,000 yards and over 12,000 receiving yards and that close to 1,000 catches, you've got real potential. I mean, if he'd have won a ring, he'd have gotten in the Hall of Fame. That ring, not having one, probably keep Brandon Marshall out. But Claypool, rookie season with the Steelers, 62 catches, 873, 9 TDs, and you're like, oh, we're in business. 59 catches, 860, but only 2 TDs. And then last year, it was a combined effort, 46 catches, 451, and 1 touchdown. Way down. Not what you'd expect out of this receiver. And he's banged up. And I think that's got a lot of people in Bears land worried. And now this report comes out, and I don't love the wording on this report. I really don't. Chase Claypool isn't living up to expectations at Hallis Hall this offseason. This is Yahoo, according to a report from the Waddle and Sylvie show on ESPN 1000. Let's just play it. Let's just get to it.
Continued to say he's got time. He's got these 40 days to get healthy before training camp. He has said that he's got time to get into the playbook and that he has learned the playbook. I have heard from a few people inside that building that he is not somebody who is very self-motivated. There's a long way to go. Chase Claypool can change the narrative. Waddle always likes to say, if you want to change the narrative,
change the narrative.
So Chase Claypool can do so.
Okay. The part I didn't like in there, and I'm sure you guys know if you subscribe to the channel, I'm old school, not very self-motivated. That's very concerning. That's very concerning. That tells me that maybe he's not putting in all the effort he necessarily can. Plus, people are adding the nugget of, do you need to be concerned that the guy's injury prone? This is not great news.
All I can tell you is it isn't trending in a way that the Bears have wanted it to trend in this offseason. Chase Claypool is a guy that they've wanted to see some things from. They have not been able to see those things from him on and off the field. All those things don't sound great for Claypool going into training camp on where they think he's going to be.
I mean, yikes. That's not great news. It is not great news. According to Silverman, his mentality isn't where the Bears would like it to be, especially considering he's nursing minor injuries that could cost him part of minicamp. That self-motivated thing is frightening. Claypool struggled during 10 games he played with the Bears last season. As a result, he caught a lowly 10 passes for 140. The Bears obviously expect more for the hefty price. Ryan Poles sent their second-round draft pick to the Steelers in exchange for Claypool. Yikes. That's concerning. It's a hefty price to play for an unproductive receiver. Fortunately, Claypool has one season left on a rookie deal before the Bears will be forced to make a decision about their collective futures. But according to Silverman, he's staring down the barrel of being pegged as a bust. Yikes. Yikes. For what it's worth, the Bears have spoken emphatically about Claypool this offseason. They appreciate his dedication in the film room while he's nursing soft tissue injuries. That can be another yikes, to be honest. And they're enthralled about his potential with Justin Fields. And then they go on to kind of talk him up. They talk about his size. He's a big target, 230, and he ran a 4.42. Look, coming out of college, this guy was thought to be close to can't miss. Coming out in the draft. Size, speed, again, Brandon Marshall kind of size. But Brandon Marshall had good hands. He was strong. He picked the ball out and brought it in the end zone. He'd go into the end zone, turn around, almost play like a tight end, start boxing guys out at receiver, boom, catch the ball. Maybe they need to look at how this guy actually looks to play the game. I don't know. Maybe they have to look at how they want to use him. Maybe they need to change him and use him somehow differently. But he's got so much speed, you hate to think that the guy can't stretch the field. I don't know. Work on matchups, something. Because if the guy could get even anywhere back to the first 2 seasons, you've got to have more touchdowns than 2. But the first 2 seasons, combine him with DJ Moore, who I like a lot. And looking back, I'm like, it's the one part of the Carolina Panthers trade. I love the Bryce Young pick. I was vocal. I thought the Bears should have kept the pick, taken Bryce Young, traded Justin Fields. They didn't. I loved Bryce Young. I watched every snap he ever played. I think the kid is a can't-miss NFL quarterback. But it was the giving up of DJ Moore that bothered me by the Panthers. Panthers' brilliant move in getting their quarterback, but it was trading that massive asset that could be so valuable to the Bears and to Justin Fields. There should be no excuse for Justin Fields. Claypool, hopefully, and DJ Moore, and it's my understanding DJ Moore he's going to look good. He's going to look real good this season for the Bears. So tell me what you think, Black and White Sports 2 supporters. If you're a Bears fan, the Chase Claypool thing has you concerned. Those numbers last year have you concerned. But most importantly, lack of being self-motivated. There's a couple of things. One thing. Let's just say one thing I feel like you should never, ever fail on. 2 things. Yeah. The willingness to want to practice and be in practice and practice to get ready for the games. And hustle. Hustling. It should not be a thing you ever fail on at a professional level, any level. But when you're getting paid that kind of money at a professional level, you should be hustling your ass off in every aspect of the football game and everything to get ready for the game too. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.